Alrighty. So I had a couple topics, three particular, regarding to mental health. Just had it on my mind. I haven't made a video in a little while uh, on the stuff I try to maybe help someone or bring awareness to in a moment. But the title is mental health. So it's like a triangular topic, starting with trauma, then to self-worth, then to self-esteem. So the first one, trauma, anything in one's past or present that had or currently is affecting you in a negative way and progressing due to the effect or damage it has or had on you. So people deal in different degrees in trauma they went through, and not everyone recovers in the same speed, as for some never recover. For most is not a battle in itself. uh, for most it is a battle in itself to start or to finish the healing stage of the trauma. It is easier said than done, reminding ourselves that it is not a bad thing, nor should you feel ashamed to seek out help. Because everyone is worthy of happiness and of love. So I wrote down like a number, like a crisis hotline. I think it's national, so I guess anyone, anywhere can use it. But figured, having something for somebody, in case they needed it, The number for suicide and crisis lifeline is 988. So note, you don't have to be suicidal. You can, call this if you're just in a crisis or you need someone to talk to, right? Okay, so that's the first part for the trauma. And then the second part is self-worth. Trauma can greatly affect our value of our self-worth, and often can be hard to get back on a positive outlook in ourselves. I have found to be a help in this area is to have a list of objectives. That's one thing. Like, my stepdad helped me, to with the idea of having a list of objectives, because they do come in handy. They do. The list can be as long or as short as one needs or feels. The main part of the list of objectives plays a role in helping us to feel the value in ourselves when we complete the objectives, and helping boost our outlook and mindset, thus helping train for a stronger mindset. So, some random points for the list of objectives can be: number 1, waking up waking up and doing morning hygiene. Simple, short, but very powerful for the mind. As you're waking up, and when you complete that, you feel refreshed, and clean, and sometimes makes you feel happy. So number 2, taking a moment to be thankful for another day of breath in our lungs. It's always taking that step back, taking a moment, acknowledging, the things that you've accomplished. It's that's good for training a positive mindset too. And number 3, look in the mirror and tell yourself you matter, because you do. We have people that are very negative and, put you down, or tell you you're not worthy, or, just all these negative things about you. Not, it's the certain group of people that do, right? It's not true, because you do matter. It's good to tell yourself that, even as you're waking up, have that like a little routine. That way, whenever you're going through stuff, those words, can come back to you, and you're like, man, I do matter. All this stuff, in the end, it does matter, but it the mind can play tricks on you, and can be lies. So it's you do matter, and you are worthy. Okay, so the fourth one, finish something you always wanted to do. Now, this can be like anything, great or big or small. When you have something you've always wanted to do, let's say go for a 3-mile run, that could be like a big one, depending on your perspective on it, or writing a poem. The accomplishment and the feeling that you get after, is where that lies. The feeling, it's recharging, it's refreshing. Thus, it's building your mindset. That's these stages, they're helping you build for a stronger you. So self-esteem, the third one. Through trauma and the damage it affects in our value and our self-worth, it can greatly affect one's self-esteem. Self-esteem plays a big part in our day-to-day lives. When one is under the attack of low self-esteem, it is important to learn how to take a step back and use coping skills. Coping skills tend to help give us tools to strengthen our mind and to prevent any decisions that are negative we might find ourselves to want to act upon. A few examples for coping skills that might help are, for anxiety, find a small object and feel how the texture is. Focus on the object and maybe spend time wondering what it's made for and why. Reasons for this strategy is to help distract our mind, therefore helping calm the moment in panic and of scattered feelings and thoughts, also known as grounding ourselves. It's a common technique, like grounding yourself, but it helps, it doesn't have to be with, feeling something. It could be smelling something like a candle. It's helping our senses, come back to its original, base. And, bringing you back to a moment of clarity and those dark times of anxiety and, just feeling out there, right? So those are just a couple things to help. This stuff might not help for everyone. Everyone's different in how they deal with things, process. But ultimately, it's, kind of like a guideline. Kind of help you with, whatever you're going through. Now, the second one is depression. Now, I picked like two big ones. There's, of course, other things that are not just anxiety and depression. But like just two big ones. So for depression, finding a positive time finding a positive time consuming hobby or task. Could be reading a book, like a positive book, more like a positive adventurous book. Could be sketching a work of art in your drawing book. Could also try stretching and breathing techniques. All of these help to once again distract our thoughts onto a more positive impact towards our mindset. These practices may take time to feel the real effect, but will in time more and more help you in the moments you need them the most. So most of the stuff people probably already know, have their own way of battling and, processing and going through, mental health. But I just wanted to create something, a little short that may help someone, in need, or maybe doesn't have, people there to help them through stuff, right? Because I've been through a lot of this, and it does help having someone to give you some information to help you through some stuff, because it's never a bad thing. We're all still learning, right? But I hope this helps somebody. Yeah, again, uh, you know, you are worthy. You are enough. All right. Peace. Love y'all.